Hey guys, Cyber Aquarist here, bringing you another video on the setup of my innovative marine Fusion Lagoon 25-gallon reef aquarium. My live rock is on order. It should be coming within the next few days. So rather than waiting around for the mailman to bring the rock, I'm going to go ahead and get a head start. I've already mixed up 15 gallons of salt water. I'll show you guys the RODI unit that I use here in a minute, but I use Aqua Vitro salinity. And I mixed up the RODI water to yield a salinity of 35 parts per thousand. Now what I've done is I've put a piece of tape on the glass here. I'm going to fill the inside display to the 15 with 15 gallons and mark the tape there, so that whenever water evaporates, I'll just be able to add RODI water and it will return the water to a specific gravity of 35 parts per thousand. Now I'm also not going to have to worry about making up the salt water when the rock arrives, because it'll already be in the display. And I'm going to go ahead and get a kickstart on my biological media. I'm going to show you guys a trick that you can do to go ahead and get a head start on that while you're waiting on your sand or your rock to arrive. So I'm going to go ahead and add the water to the tank now, and then I'm going to show you guys a little trick. This is my RODI unit that I picked up at Bulk Reef Supply. It's the BRS 4-stage value plus, 75 gallons per day. My tap water is extremely soft. It's less than 1 degree general hardness and 1 degree carbonate hardness. So the water, before it enters the DI chamber, is already at 0 TDS. Coming out of the DI chamber is also 0 TDS. So one of these DI cartridges should last me a very long time. Alright, so now that I got the 15 gallons in the display, I went ahead and marked my tape here at the water level. I know that that's exactly 15 gallons, and with any evaporation that occurs before I get my water in the filtration chambers and my auto top off can take over, I'll be able to add RODI water straight to the display, filling it back up to that line, and I'll know my salinity will still be around 35 parts per thousand, and I'll be able to keep track of the volume of the water in my tank. Now once the rock and the sand arrive, I'm going to go ahead and siphon this water back out and put it in those 3 reservoirs that I used. I'll put the rock and the sand in the tank, and then I'll pour the water from those reservoirs back into the aquarium. And I'll know that I'm adding exactly 15 gallons of water. Now with the displacement of the rock and the sand, the water is going to go ahead and topple over the weirs. It's going to get in the back filtration chamber. And then I'll be able to take an amount of salt water, keep track of how much I add, and top off the filtration chamber to the float switch. And that will let me know exactly how much water is in my system. That's very important, guys, for a nano reef or even a large aquarium, is maintaining stability. I'll know exactly how much water is in my system, and I can calculate a precise dose. Because if I was to dose if I thought it was a 22-gallon volume in my system, and I dose calcium or alkalinity or magnesium for that, but there's only actually 19 gallons of water in the system, that I could overshoot and my parameters would swing much more than what I anticipate. Well, you might be wondering, why didn't I just add the water after the rock was already in? And I'll show you why right now. Alright, so I've removed my pond matrix from the return chamber of my filtration. I've placed it in the display, and I can go ahead and start getting my pond matrix seeded. I figured each day that I can cycle the aquarium is one less day that I have to wait for the completion of the cycle, and I can go ahead and start adding livestock to the aquarium. Now this is a really good way to do this. We know that the ammonia and the nitrite oxidizers, the oxygen-loving bacteria that consume ammonia and nitrite, they live on any solid surface in the aquarium that isn't cleaned regularly. Now by not filling up the water in the filtration chambers, I'm reducing the amount of surface area that the bacteria can grow on. And like I said, they grow on any area that's not cleaned regularly. So I can clean the front and the side glass as well as the bottom. and I can go ahead and make sure that the bacteria are colonizing the pond matrix. This is going to give it a good kickstart. But you say, well, I don't have anything in here now to start the cycle. This is going to be a fishless cycle. Let me show you what I'm using here. I used it on cycling my 38-gallon Nuvo. This is Dr. Tim's ammonium chloride. You add this at a rate of 1 drop per gallon of water in your system to reach a concentration of 2 milligrams per liter of ammonia. Now, this stuff doesn't go bad, and you don't have to worry about catching a fish that you don't want later on. You know, if you add a fish for a cycle, and this doesn't allow any detritus to build up in your system, you know, if you're feeding fish before the cycle completes. I'm going to post a link in the description below to Dr. Tim's fishless cycle, so you'll know exactly how and when to add this. I'm going to go ahead and seed my tank with some beneficial bacteria, and I'm going to do that in the form of stability. I use stability in cycling my 150-gallon African cichlid aquarium. I've used it on my 38-gallon Nuvo, and I'm going to use it in this. Stability contains both the aerobic and anaerobic strains of bacteria, which will process ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate. So I'm going to go ahead and add 15 drops of the ammonium chloride. I should have took the lid off before I started shooting this. Alright, here we go. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If you go over a few drops, that's fine. You just do not want to exceed 4 milligrams per liter of ammonia when you're initially dosing. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add 7.5 milliliters of the stability, because you add 5 milliliters for every 10 gallons. This is 15 gallons, it'll be 7.5 milliliters. And let me go ahead and go off camera just for a second to do that. I'll be right back with you. Alright, so here's the 7.5 milliliters of stability. I'll go ahead and add it. I don't like filling up the caps of bottles that say fill the cap because of water retention. This is a cup that shows me my increments in milliliters. Anyway, the ammonia source is in the aquarium. The first strains of bacteria are already in the tank. I'm going to go ahead and start running my tests on a daily basis. The rock should be here any day, guys. So I'm getting really excited about that. I will get back with you all with an unboxing video as soon as the rock arrives. Well guys, thank you for watching. Everybody take care. See you in the next video.